How is everyone? Be honest. How are we all? Is everyone all right? How is everyone doing? Wowzers. Wowzers. I hate this league and love it. You know what, right? This, genuinely, you won't believe me, but I will leak texts if I have to. I will leak some texts if needs be. Honestly, people, I was fine during that. I don't know why. I get it. I don't know why I was. I don't get it. I was more nervous than the other games. It was 0-0 and it was a boring game. I just back us in chaos. I don't know what it is. I think we're better in chaos. We've been a lot better in chaos this season. We've been a lot better when we've not touched the ball for 20 minutes and we're sat in a shape deep and encountered. You know, when the game's tight, we always seem to just score one more than them. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I was, yeah, usually 100% out of 100. I'm absolutely, my heart's pounding. But honestly, I don't know. I was actually, I wasn't that bad. And I was surprised at myself and quite proud of myself as to why I was so calm. Genuinely. But this is mental this season, isn't it? Let's be honest. Looking back at it now, it's crazy. Crazy game. Crazy game. Why do we do that? That's the question. Why do we play like that? Why do we play that low block? What is that? Now, what I will say, as someone who has been part of a very successful low block once or twice, and not a successful low block a few times as well, I do like a low block. I do. You've got to take context into it now. I'm not necessarily a fan of kind of a full blown style that is just a low block to counter. I think against certain teams that you'll get battered by that if the low block isn't perfect, or certain teams you can get at more. I think this made sense in a way. So in the first half, it was quite back and forth, and there was no real control in the game. And control isn't necessarily done with the ball. You know, people and commentators chatting rubbish about they're dominating the game. No, they're dominating the football. They're not dominating the game because whilst they played with most of the ball in that second half, the actual what did they achieve from that? What did they dominate? They didn't dominate spaces. They didn't dominate area that we didn't want them to be in. You know, we dominated the central spaces when the ball came into it. We forced them out wide, and then long crosses came into the box, which we were set up well to deal with. So we dominated our possession. They had the ball in possession, but we kind of dominated where they would go with it for the most part. You know, once or twice they got a few corners from it and a few long range shots. But dominating the game was just absolute BS because they didn't. We dominated the big chances and we dominated the efficiency in chances as well. It's so easy to look at possession and think, well, they dominated the game. They dominated the ball. Or they dominated the amount of the ball, but they're not even dominated the ball because having the ball isn't dominating it. You know, if you're being allowed to have it, when it comes to the final third, then you can't break down our shape. A team, by the way, in Middlesbrough who recently, if you watch their games and what manager has said, they've killed teams on the counter, destroyed them. Many times they've done the exact same thing. They've sat a bit deeper and destroyed on the counter in transition. And you can see why with the players like Laffy Laff and Jones and all that. Some good players, by the way. And in the first half, they were doing that. It was very end-to-end. We'd have a moment. They'd have a big moment where they were 3v2 at times at the back, and Joe Ronald's going, what on earth's going on? They're a very good, dangerous transitional team. They are. They're very good at that. So we maintained and give up, in the end, some possession to sit in our deeper position. And I believe two of the players have come out and said that was the plan. So it was a low block. It wasn't, we didn't want the ball. It was, no, let them have it. And as nervous as that is, and as kind of dull at times that can be, you have to appreciate that it works. It does work. It works very well. We've done it quite a few times this year, and it's worked well. Teams don't create big chances from it against us, and we create devastating counter-attacks. There is work to do on it. When we do win it back at times, I feel there's not an option to have as an outlet to get it up the pitch, so then they kind of just get it back. I think that's still a side of it we have to work on. But at times when we do win it back and we are slightly higher, and we go forward, and then 2 or 3 passes, we're in on goal and we're scoring. That's a really good thing for a team to have. I said this, I think we could be an outstanding pure counter-attack team if we really work on our shape. We could, but it's not what we want, is it? We want to be dominating in terms of possession and stuff like that, and chances and aggression. But yeah, don't underestimate a team that can pull out a low block with an attacking threat and score 4 goals from doing a low block and could have had 6. Don't underestimate that team because they're a good side, whoever that is. And Daniel Farke has clearly looked at some of the stats as well and seen that with a large amount of possession, we do struggle to win. But when we've had less possession, most times we win and we score a lot of goals through that. So it's good to have balance. I know it's nervy, but honestly, people, I can tell you, as a team in a low block, if teams are resulting to crossing the ball in to your 6 defenders, fine. Just that second ball, then you got to kind of, you know what I mean? You got to kind of win that second ball and then drive, but we didn't quite win that second ball enough time, so we didn't have as much as rest in each attack as we wanted. I'm fine with it because it is a thing in football. It's a thing that works, and a team that is devastating teams each week on the counter against a team that knows when we have more possession, we struggle. Why not give up 10, 15, or in the second half, 80% of it? It worked, and we could have had 6 people. We could have had 6. We really could. So, happy with that. And I think that were it. That kind of 25-minute period in the second half where we just utterly controlled the game without the ball calmed me a lot. And then they got the third, and I was like, oh, I was kind of all right. I don't know. I like the mentality of the lads yesterday. They seemed all right in these difficult moments. They had a bit of bite to them as well when they needed. Although it did get flappy at the end, didn't it? And we'll talk about the goalkeeper. Don't know why I've got my AirPods in. Goalkeeper. Now, so I'm not a goalkeeper coach, and I don't proclaim to be one. I don't proclaim to know what it's like to be a goalkeeper, so I don't usually give too much opinion on saves. But I have asked a good friend of mine who is both of those things, and I trust him a lot, his value and what he says. Now, what he said was, and he sent me a 6-minute voice note, so I had to, I'll bring it down a little bit. So on the first one, he said, so obviously it's the goalkeeper's position is scuppered by the deflection, which literally leads, going the opposite direction, deflection leads to a 1-on-1 in front of goal straight away like that. But he said when the goalkeeper goes down and gets the ball, he does all right, but he says he's asking his goalkeeper to keep hold of it there. He thinks, as a goalkeeper that goes down for a ball like that, when it's quite close to your chest, that is an opportunity for you to grab the ball and hold the ball no matter if there's a foot coming at you. You have an entire body and arms, so you should win that. So he wasn't too happy that that came out, which is the opposite of what some people say. Some people think that's the one he did all right on. So that's the opinion on that one. You should back your goalkeeper when it's in that central area down low to hold on to it. But he said he did all right in the end. It was unlucky where it came out. It was unlucky that it came to him. Now, he said for the second one, and this one he's annoyed at people. He watched the game, by the way. The general reaction is ridiculous. He said, in terms of... So he said what you have to take into account is in that position there, most wingers and goalkeepers are trained and taught this. Most wingers, when they're cutting in from the left on their right foot, are going to whip it into that far right corner as they see it, the goalkeeper's left. He said that's how it happens. Bree is an example of that. He does it every week. Most wingers do that side. He said the problem there is when you do that, you're setting up to dive to your left. So all your weight is here. So what Latilaf did was you give him the eyes. And every goalkeeper is anticipating that is the way he's going to go because most shots, he gave me a percentage, I can't remember what it was, but there's stats behind this. Most people in that position do shoot in that corner when they're cutting with their right foot. So you're naturally getting ready to go that way. He said what happened, you give him the eyes, and it's just technique and a skill that you don't see that much, but when you do see it, they tend to go in because even though it's not in the corner, as a goalkeeper's momentum is down to the left or getting ready to pounce left, the ball's going the other way. So you have to do that. And he said, you've got to understand these footballers hit the ball bloody hard and can't really adjust your entire weight of your body, which is preparing for a routine save in the bottom corner, to then shift to the other side and go all the way across and up. He said he did actually well to react to that and actually get close to saving it. But he said anyone that thinks that the goalkeeper should save that is unrealistic. And that's what I got. And the third one, he blamed typical goalkeeper union, by the way. Third one, he said, yeah, I understand it, but which goalkeeper in that position is not going to be there? You know, he said, look at the line. The goalkeeper's position is based on the defensive line. The defensive line was high. The defensive had a high line. The goalkeeper is naturally going to be further out of his box, right? That is normal. If the goalkeeper's further in his box there, the space for a ball off the top is ridiculous. He said the issue was, though, Joe Rodon stepped out. He stepped back. Everyone else was in line. Joe Rodon stepped back, which meant there was no defensive line, which was no offside. So you're playing a high line and there was no offside trap because one guy was deeper quite significantly. So then the striker made the run. And if Joe Rodon's in line with the defence, even Amadou can stop and he's offside. But he couldn't because Joe Rodon made that run. So then once he's made that run, once Joe Rodon sat deeper, there's no defensive line. So there's no counter. He's run through and he's in. He's not offside. He should have been offside. And then obviously in that position, because of the high line, Meslier is slightly higher forward. I think this one, yeah. So Meslier is slightly higher forward, which means in that position, the skill and the technique of the header is ridiculous. You don't want him further on his line. He shouldn't have been there because we played a high line, so the goalkeeper is higher. So there we go. That's what I got told. So believe it or not, that's fine. I don't care, to be honest. Look, batter him. It's been months. You have your turn if you want. That's what I got called by. Goalkeeper of 20 years and coach. So yeah. That's all on that. Now, final bit. And just on Archie and Gruev, when we did that low block, you know, when we got into that shape, defensively, so solid. They went man for man in midfield at times. Really did their job. It wasn't a pretty job. It wasn't a beautiful footballing job. It was a dirty, gritty job in that middle, especially Gruev, just sitting between them centre-backs, dealing with anything that came around the box, intercepting it, tackling. It was excellent, I thought, in that second half. The role he had was perfectly done by him, so fair play. And Archie, again, it was a man's performance from him. Again, not pretty, not beautiful, but drove when he needed to, tackle when he needed to, give the ball simple when he needed to, not the most involved, did everything required of them to. So shout out to those two guys. Interesting for me, I'm so happy with it in the sense that grittiness, that gritty side to the game in which we just kind of pulled through and in a way we just kind of create chances with ease, and it looked like we could genuinely cut through them at every count, and we just got that final detail wrong at times. People, we scored some good team goals. You seen the goals we scored, some good team goals. The penalty one, was well worked. Jorginho Rutter doing his thing on the left. Look, I made a video at the start of the season, and I stick by it. Jorginho Rutter would be an excellent winger. Made a video at the start of the season. Just saying. But yeah, put him from the left, drove past his man, too powerful, too strong, got into the box, good penalty. The two team goals we scored were unbelievable, by the way. Quick movement, fluid movement, quick counter-attacking movement, 3 or 4 passes in their half, 1v1. Chris Somerville turned up to the party, 2 goals and an assist. When you need your big players to turn up, it's now, and he did. He took the criticism on board, he's turned up, he's doing his thing. And do you know what is so good about Chris Somerville? That skill he's got, that one move he does. He gets it on the left, he cuts in and hits on the right. Now, do you know how good you have to be to have one real unbelievable skill and be able to all season bring it off without defenders knowing what you're doing? Do you know how good you have to be? Do you know what it is? Defenders know exactly what he's doing. They can't stop it still. Think of Iron Robin. Similar. Just keep him on his right. You can't keep him on his right because he's already on his right. He's already on his left, sorry. Same with Somerville. Show him the outside. You can't show him the outside. You think you've got him on the outside and he's too quick and he'll cut inside you. And that's how good he is. He has this skill and everyone knows what he's going to do. But you can't stop it. Because by the time you're thinking, right, next touch is going to be here, and he's already done it, and he's already hit one past you in the top corner because he's thinking quicker than you. It's instinctive. He knows what he's doing. Don't underestimate a guy with one unbelievable move, because that will get him 50, 60 to hundreds of goals in his career if he has if injury free and a good career. He's doing it this season endlessly. That goal, that's similar to that goal, and they can't stop him. They simply cannot stop him because he's too quick, he's too sharp, and his mind's too quick, and he knows exactly what he's going to do. He knows exactly where the gaps are. He'll find the gap, and he'll just hit it in that corner every time. Unbelievable skill, unbelievable player is Chris Somerville. Had some criticism this season, but he's still by far our best player, and still by far the best player in the league for me. He's unbelievable. Willie Nonto, I did a video on him, and although some early frustrations with him giving the ball away, I think a player like that now is key, and I can't wait to see him in the last 2 games because we have these guys here now, and they are ready. It's going to be so hard. And you need these players with these individual brilliance. Jorginho Rutter again, doing Jorginho Rutter things of losing the ball and leading to a goal, but then at times just absolutely tearing them apart. Love it, love him. You keep doing your thing, Georgie. He'll grow. He'll become more consistent. He's so young, people. I forget how young that guy is, by the way. He's younger than some of us, the same age as Nonto. Like, we give him, he's so young, so much time, and he's doing his thing this year. Celebrations at the end show that he really wants this. And then Junior Fairport, I saw some criticising him. People want our players to be perfect. They're not perfect. Otherwise, they won't be here. They'll be in Champions League, and even then, they're not perfect. But they're nowhere near it. But they're trying their best to be the best player they can be. They're here now. When others left, they are here. Whether they wanted to be or not, they're here. And they're part of it. And they're putting everything into it. Junior Firpo said he almost threw up. He was sick before the game. He was ill. Playing through it. He's doing it. He's here right now. I won't play if I were ill. I'm in bed, me. So, fair play. Fair play. Got nothing to complain about. We've got 2 assists. Getting in advanced areas. Defending now. Although he's still got those diving in moments, he'll never get rid of them, and that's the niche of the player. That's who he is. Again, not perfect, but I think he's just looking more solid in timing the tackle when he's deeper. He doesn't dive in as much. It's when he's seen something and he wants it, he'll dive in, and then they'll do the 1-2 around him. Actually, 1v1 deeper, I think he's improving his timing, his tackles, his body position isn't as square on. He's side on, and he's getting ready for them to knock it down the line. Getting better in that sense, which is good because you want a player to learn and develop. Junior started football quite old, I think, as well. So you've got to remember that. I believe that's true. I believe it started when he was teens. Still early on in your career, you think about it. You've only been really playing for 10 years. But yeah, he's improving, and his attacking output is ridiculous. He's part of almost every attack down that side, and he's a key part of it. The lads are trying. The lads are doing everything they can. And this is it for me now, people. I've said it. We'll go up or we won't. Whatever. We'll go up or we won't. Let's just see what happens. Enjoy it. Run 91 points, man. I think. Is it 91? Yeah, something like that. Finish on 96. And people will be fuming if it's football, man. Tough. I hope Dan James is alright as well. Someone who's hurt their rib. Oh. Not nice, people. Can't sit down. You can't do anything. Not good. I hope Dan James is alright. Got up though. Players made him get up, didn't they? Horrible lot, man. Guys in agony, broken his rib or whatever. People dragging him up. It's brutal, man. This guy literally can't breathe in the mic. Get up, man. I'm actually hurt, lads. Nah, get up. Rodon, brutal. Anyway, good spirits, people. 2 games to go, and then we can all chill out. Hopefully. Appreciate all your love and support, people. Sorry, I just can't get that, man. Get up, man. Can't breathe, me. Yeah, anyway.